Christians are officially unsafe in America. This is untrue. Let me just break this down here. I'm a little late to the party, but a couple weeks ago now, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. I work at a radio station where we host the Charlie Kirk Show. I was actually in charge of producing what is called mirror calls for the Charlie Kirk Show. So I edited and produced liners of Charlie Kirk's voice, and it was like the very, very, very small way that I had this like connection with him. I know that that's weird, but everybody is thinking that, right? Everybody is thinking of some way that they were connected in some capacity to Charlie Kirk, which totally makes sense. Everyone, to some degree, has felt the absence of this monster, this beast of the faith. Obviously, everybody has something to say about it. It's all over the media, it's all over everything, and it's not slowing down. There were a couple of resources in particular that I saw pop up on my social media that had something to say about this, and one in particular really piqued my interest. It was this one. Now, I don't know a whole lot about this lady, this Taylor Alicia. I don't know a whole lot about her. I mean, she seems like a solid woman of the faith, and I mean, from what I've seen, it's pretty solid, but you gotta be careful because, you can't just listen to anybody on the internet. And so she had this video titled, "Christians Are Officially Unsafe in America." And my first thought was untrue. Here's why. Now, to clarify, this was kind of out of context. I see the title of this video by Taylor Alicia as kind of a clickbait thing, just like the title of this video was probably something like this. There is more context required to what she said about the Charlie Kirk incident and about Christians being safe or unsafe and how this affects the rest of believers as a whole. The reason why I do not believe that Christians are unsafe in America now is because most of us have no reason not to be safe. Does that make any sense? Just bear with me here. Just put your thinking caps on.
Put your thinking caps on.
Oh, I broke it. No. I broke it. Hold on, I need a new hat. Here we go. If you ever need help, always call Alley Rudd Financial Services. Anyways, Charlie was killed for his beliefs. Charlie was killed because he was not quiet. Charlie was killed because he was a monster for the faith. And you couldn't shut the guy up. He was forward, he was respectful, he was appropriate, but he spoke the truth, and he wasn't afraid to speak the truth. Now, we Christians have to be very careful here, because if we start grouping ourselves in the same category as Charlie Kirk, we are making a big mistake. Now, I'm saying this more in the general sense because if you already are bold and forward with speaking the truth and sharing the gospel with people, then good for you. Keep it up. Don't stop, okay? I am talking about most of the rest of us. I think one reason that America does not have persecution per se is because there's not really a big reason for us to be persecuted. We're afraid. We're not like Charlie. We don't unapologetically, unashamedly speak the truth because we're afraid. I'm afraid. This culture, because of social media, I would say social media is probably the biggest thing. This culture is marvelous at keeping us in cages. Okay? And I think something that Charlie Kirk's death did was it started breaking open the doors of those cages. And I think maybe at this time, in this time, Charlie Kirk's death is exactly what we needed. As horrendous and just insert bad word here as it was, we needed that. Because we need a wake-up call. This is the time for believers to unite, come together under one common goal to speak the truth and speak the gospel. But how? How do we get there? Food for thought. How can you step outside of your comfort zone to speak the truth? How can you get past that tightness in your chest, that rush of adrenaline you get when you're about to say something that could be divisive or confrontational? How do we get past that? How do we stop being afraid? I'm not fully sure. But let's start figuring it out. And let's start figuring it out together. Because we got a mic to pick up. All of us. So let's do it. Let's do it.